What's up, everyone? Eric here. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome to the channel. Hyper Rare Collectibles is the well, it's my business name, but also my social media name as well. So yeah, as the title states, just want to give like a recap, pretty much, of how my experience as being a vendor has been. Been a vendor probably about 6 months or so, give or take. I'm tired because I had a show yesterday, which was Friday. I'm in New Jersey, by the way, for any international viewers or what different time zones. But had a show Friday night. I booked myself actually for 3 shows this weekend. I had one today and I had one tomorrow. All fairly smaller shows. And when I say smaller, mainly in like I don't know, think of like the size of like a high school gymnasium type setting, um, something like that. But yeah, I try not to book myself for all these shows. I just kind of I was home and like promoters reached out to me. They want more So a lot of these shows are a mix of sports and Pokemon. You know, promoters, especially if it's heavily sports, they're realizing they need Pokemon vendors as well because Pokemon's really popular. Hell, well, I'm pretty sure it is even more popular than sports right now. But it's good to have a mix of both from a promoter standpoint, and I guess just overall for everyone, right? Um, but that's one of my points. But my overall experience, I mean, where to start? I have nothing written down, by the way. So I'm just sitting in my basement speaking about this to you guys. Let's see. So I'm having fun. So I have a full-time job as well, full-time career. Just want to get this out the way. I have no plans of leaving or quitting or turning this into a full-time job. Um, as of now, I'm stable. I'm happy. I decided to do this. Um, so I was a toy and comic, not a comic, but I did have some comics here and there. Mainly a toy vendor, vintage toys, some modern stuff, Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, and also some older stuff. In my 20s, I would go to a lot of toy shows and things like that. Plus, I had my own collection too, which I did reduce like greatly. In my 20s, when I had so much stuff like in storage, just boxes of excuse me, stacked to the ceiling. Yeah, I guess as you get older, like your priorities change. You start a family, you get older, you have more things you got to pay for, bills, kids, just whatever, man. I mean, your responsibilities change as you get older. So I got rid of a lot of stuff over the years, especially about a year ago because I moved into a house. So I downsized greatly there too. Still kept a little collection in my basement here for myself. Yeah, so I got that. I pretty much decided to get into the Pokemon. I was in Pokemon as a kid, obviously, so you know that story. I sold all my stuff, base set, for pennies, like 10 years ago, because I got home from the military. And I was just cleaning out my childhood bedroom. I was like, I don't want none of this crap. Well, let me just put it on eBay. I had like and I didn't play with my cards. I opened them, I just sleeved them up, and I threw them in a binder back then. I had the entire base set hollow. Can't tell you I don't remember if it was first edition or not, or Shadowless, whatever. I don't even remember. I think it was just straight up base set. Still nice cards though. Yeah, sold it for like $80. I remember on eBay. It's like how old am I? 36 now. Yeah, it's about 10 to 12 years ago. Sold it like $80 on eBay. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Right? Shoulda kept it, but and you'll hear me say that like probably in every video I make. Uh, but so yeah, during COVID, like many others, got back into it. Had some cool cards. Had a case of Chilling Rain, Fusion Strike, even Falling Skies, because it was a time where you can get those for like $90, I don't know, to $100 for a box. And for a case, a pack of six sealed, you could get them for like $600, $700. Now look where we're at. And again, I had those for like a year or two, sold them early, made a little money, but again, I didn't think it would get like this. But again, that was when I was getting rid of all those extra toys because I was moving to a house last year. But I sold all this stuff, right? It's probably been about 2 years now since I sold all that stuff. So Yeah, lots changed since then, but it is what it is. And then it's always like jumping in and out, kind of. But since I'm settled, I put a lot of funds into the house. Just getting up to speed for me and my family. Um, Decided to get into the vending thing. Been watching a lot of videos. And plus, I found myself just sitting in my basement, not doing much, not being active. I moved to a new town, didn't really know anyone. I was like, let me get out the house more, do something, not just sit on my ass. If I go home from work on the weekend, um, playing video games. I love Overwatch, but I'm a big Overwatch fan. I've been playing that game for years. Used to play a lot of Warcraft. Not WoW. I played a little WoW, but regular Warcraft, like Warcraft 3, Reign of Chaos, Frozen Throne. If you're my age group or a little bit older, that's old school Blizzard right there. Still play Overwatch when I'm not banned because they ban you for everything now. It's ridiculous. But uh, I'm getting off topic. But so yeah, got into it 6 months ago. I didn't have really any inventory, um, and I did decide though from the beginning I wanted to uh, let me rephrase myself. I wanted my expertise to be graded cards, specifically PSA slabs. Um, so yeah, had no inventory. So what am I gonna do? So I was just going on eBay, um, trying to buying singles, checking them out. It wasn't like the best way because I did drop. I spent about like a couple of grand, and I also sold some extra toys I had laying around to start up the business and just gather additional funds without having to go into like my own personal savings or whatever. I was just selling stuff around the house. So I started probably with about 3 grand, I want to say. And I made mistakes because again, I bought. It's probably one of my earlier videos. I bought a bunch of near mint singles off like a gaming website, legit website. Nothing against them, except they didn't. They used stocked photos, and it was near mint technically, but it wasn't. When I received it in the mail, like about half of them were not good enough to be a 10 because they had like white corners and things like that, or the centering was terrible. And these are just things that I learned over the past 6 months. So I did make mistakes. Um, it is what it is. But in terms of grading, I've sent in about 4 submissions so far. Every submission has gotten better. I've gotten more tens. I personally go through GameStop. The GameStop by me. The guys are great. They're collectors themselves. They always take care of my stuff. Um, I'll even throw them a slab. Not like a crazy expensive one, I'll be honest, but like I'll throw them like they don't carry anything, you know what I'm saying? But they know, come on. I mean, I'll throw them like like an 8 back or a 9. And sometimes I'll have duplicates of the same card. So like one could be a 10, one could be a 9. I'll give them the low grade one just as a thank you. It's free, and they appreciate it. Then they're not gonna be like, give me a 10 then. You know what I'm saying? That'd be kind of messed up, right? They accident, I want a 10. No. They're providing a service. I think I'm being generous, giving them a free slab. But they're good guys. Good guys. So, um, yeah, I'm actually waiting for one submission to come back. It's been about a month so far, so another month. Usually 2 months was the average on the last one, so it's getting a little better because it was 2.5 months for my first couple. So yeah, the next one should come back in a month, and I'm gonna put out. Wait till you see that video. I got some cool stuff in that one, and I feel good about it. We'll see if PSA is on my side, but I really got a good mix of stuff, not just straight up brand new things. I wanted to mix a little bit older sets, and I took my time. I have another batch going out soon too. Let me show you now really quick. But yeah, buddy, got a lot of cool stuff here, man. I think there's about 40 cards almost. I'm not gonna like go through everything, but Persian. That's a sick card. I'm not gonna go through everything right now, but that's the next batch right there. So yeah, that's what I do. The graded stuff. I did did a first show or two. Realized I need to have raw singles as well. Um, so yeah, and that's something I'm still learning. It's not really about learning. It's about the funds. You gotta have money, and you gotta like pace yourself and budget. I'm trying to grow slowly, gradually. You know, I don't have money to just like buy a $5,000 collection or be spending $1,000 a show buying people's stuff. I'm being picky. I'm trying to get stuff through trade. I mean, you'll see if you're not a vendor and you're thinking of starting. It's hard to explain. You have to like balance things out because you're not going to sell everything. A lot of people are going to come up to you and want to trade stuff for like something else. I do 80% trade. I buy at 70, but it also depends. You know what I'm saying? I personally don't. I stay away personally from like expensive slabs because I like to grade raw stuff myself and send that in. Um, I did pick this up today though in a 10, but I traded with another vendor. But I gave him cash on top. But I traded him like a slab and an expensive raw single because I love this ground. I think it's going to keep going up because it's a sick card. I already have another one. I have two right now. The other one I graded myself, but because this card in particular, if you didn't know, centering it's tough to get a 10. Centering sucks on a lot of them. You can even check on eBay. It's very difficult to find. And me personally, I think it's the best card in Paradox Rift, and I think it's an awesome card. So regardless, that's why I bought it. Cause I mean, I do love the card, and I do want it in a 10, especially for the long haul. Um, yeah, but aside from that, yeah, you want a combination of singles, and you don't have to do graded. You can pick one or the other. Um, you can start with straight up singles and slowly build into slabs. Sorry if I'm like off center. I keep moving the chair right there, but yeah, it's whatever you want to do. I mean, raw singles will sell for sure, no doubt. Not everyone likes slabs. A lot of people like buying the cards, or they want no part of grading or sending stuff in to get graded. They like them. They like to buy cards. Some people play the game. Some people just want to throw them in their binder and call it a day. But you have a combination. It's a mix, really. I mean, if you if you're a vendor or you talk to the vendors, they'll say, yeah, this slabs don't sell well for me. Some people say singles are slow. Everyone has their own personal experience, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what not to do or just pick one specifically. I personally think it's good to have a good mixture of both. Um, Surprisingly, also that people like to dig through my cheap cards, like $1 to $5. I have like a little box, like $1 to $5 cards. People love to dig through those, and I'm always giving deals out. So yeah, and I can go into that right now. That specific topic, deals. I'm too nice. I do give deals out all the time because I want people to be happy. Now there are some people who, like, expect a deal, and those are the types of people like who annoy me. Like, it's at least be polite about it, because some people, and it's crazy because like it's Pokemon, right? At the end of the day, it is a kid's game, but in today's world, we can't really keep using that as an excuse, in my opinion, because it's mainly adults collecting and buying, putting a lot of money into this. Um, so like, but there is like a decent amount of people who are very entitled and like just come up to you, and I'm speaking from a vendor point of view, and just like will lowball you, just I don't know, they think like they're very slick, and they're not specifically calling me, just say me stupid, but they'll try to be very sneaky. So if you're a vendor or you're starting out, just be careful. Definitely price check everything. I made good friends with other vendors when I first started, and they gave me great advice. So that's another tip: befriend other vendors, and you also have to be careful with other vendors. Some other vendors can be jerk offs. I'll just put it straight up, but very far and few between. So just pick, become friends with vendors who are like-minded, like you. Your personalities mix well. You know what I'm saying? Um, who will help you out? Talk to you, teach you some tricks and tips of the trade, what to look for, what to offer, blah blah blah. Again, I'm pretty fair. I think 80% trade, 70% buy. Now, if the card is like a low end card, I do 60%. Like if it's under like 20, 15 or $20, I'll buy it 60, trade 70. But 20 and up, I'm pretty much at 70, buy 80% trade. Now, if it's a really expensive card like a Moonbreon or Bubble Mew, I mean, I haven't come across that yet, but I'm definitely willing to go. whatever, shoot, maybe 90, 95. It just depends. I really, we'll see what happens when that scenario comes in front of me because it depends what they want from me, or you really got to just speak about it in a calm manner. No reason to get crazy either when you do this stuff. Some people get like crazy, like like starting to turn into an argument or get like all defensive, but really just hey, listen, just speak about it, like two adults, and if you come to agreement, great. If you can't, you can't. You move on. It is what it is. No hard feelings. It's just we're talking about Pokemon cards. I know there's money involved, so that's whenever there's money involved, right? That's when things could be a little tension, right? But yeah. So getting back to that point, just be careful with your stuff. Do your due diligence. Can't pronounce it. As a vendor. You know what I'm saying? Always price check. You can use TCG Player, the Alt app for graded stuff. I use eBay sold and completed. Sometimes I'm trying to like incorporate alt more because a lot of people like to use that. I know it does incorporate eBay as well. Um, yeah, TCG for raw. Okay, and remember to pick the correct condition of the card as well. Um, Especially when like you're buying someone's stuff, right? Because if you're gonna buy someone's stuff at 70% or more, and you click near mint, the card's like MP, yeah, you're overpaying a lot, and you're not gonna make money back at all. You're hurting yourself pretty much. Okay, just pay attention to that. Um, I'm by myself. Like it's good if you can have someone with you because going to the bathroom is tough, walking around is tough, getting a snack is tough. So I'm usually by myself, just sitting at the damn table. Um, so yeah, if you have someone else with you, that's awesome. Try to get like a cart, like one of those rolly carts you could throw all your shit in. Um, Try to pack light. Like I don't know, tons of some people bring like tons of sealed product, and like I don't do that. I feel like they kill themselves just bringing this stuff inside and outside, and you know. So at the end of it, it's whatever you want to do. I'm not doing that. I'm 36 going 37. I'm not carrying a bunch of sealed product. I bring in a binder, a display case, sometimes a second display case. Just depends on my inventory levels, and I might just have a few other little knickknacks, whatever, on the table. But that's it. Try to keep it simple. Also, in terms of again displaying, talk about that. Make sure people can see your stuff on the table, right? There's some vendors who just have tons of crap, like tons of stuff. Cards are covered. They like move stuff out the way. Like try to make it easy for people who come to your table. They will make it nice, organized, so they can view everything. They don't have to ask you a million questions. I know prices change a lot, but I always try to have updated prices. Some people don't. Some people be like, "Hey, when how old is price?" I'm like, "I just did it last night." I'm like, okay. Some people are gonna check no matter what. There are vendors who just don't even price anymore because things are changing so quickly, and I do get it. But I personally like to have prices on my stuff, so I don't want people to ask me a million questions. And I feel like I try to put myself in their shoes. Like if I'm shopping, I do want to see a price on stuff. That's just me. No knock to vendors if you don't do that. I'm just speaking for me, okay? Um, I get both sides of it. That's the point. Let's see what else. Yeah. So don't get taken advantage of by a vendor or by customers. Always price check. Display your stuff nicely. Inventory. So I spoke a little bit about that, but it's kind of hard to come by. Bring if you can afford it. Bring like a couple $100, whatever you can afford. Everyone's different. Bring this separate set of cash just to like buy inventory. Okay. Um, I don't always do that because that's not really on my mind. I need to probably buy more, but some of this, if a show is slow and I'm not selling, then I'm not going to buy too much. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll do like a little trade. I don't even really want to trade. Some people just want to trade for like a better card, and hard for me to do that when those smaller cards might sit a while. And now I'm giving up a nicer, bigger card, more expensive card, like a big hitter. Doesn't really make sense to me. I'd rather hold on and wait for the next show. Try to move it for cash or something. Um. So yeah, I mean, there's so many like that's one thing I learned. So many like different scenarios. It's like playing not chess, but every scenario, every customer might have like a different situation. You just gotta like take your time, remain calm, and just think about what's going on. Do I get cooked sometimes? Yeah, not crazy cooked, but like a bunch of slabs. So like my second show was like a bigger show. Did well there, made like a little bit over a grand. But I gave like 5 or 6 freshly graded slabs. I graded myself, so I made profit no matter what. But I gave it some like kid for like 85%. I really don't want to. Like I was trying to get at least 90, and I'm pretty sure he was like one of these whatnot streamers, and I didn't know too much about that either. But a lot of these whatnot people come to your table. It's a little bit of annoying, but I know they're trying to make money on their own accord. But vendors trying to make some money too. But they always want to be at like 85, between 85 and like 88, 89%, man. Sometimes I'll do it just to move some products that's been sitting for a couple of shows. All right, because they do take a decent amount of stuff, so I'm giving a bulk deal. But I really don't like to go below 90%. I mean, there's some vendors won't budge at all. Some vendors want to stay at 95 minimum. Some vendors want full market, current market price. So it's whatever you feel comfortable doing, or whatever you feel letting your stuff go for. Okay, everyone's different. There's really no right or wrong. Just don't get completely cooked that you're losing money or just giving shit away, right? Because now it makes no sense. Uh, but again, like I said in the beginning, I'm probably too nice. I say no here and there, but I do try to work with everyone. Um, yeah, it is what it is. Yeah. So just be careful with the whatnot, guys. But but if a show is slow and some guy walks up to me the last hour, hey, I'll give you if you do 85% for like 6 or 7 of your slabs, and I'm making $800. I'm probably like, all right, fine. Even though I market was like 1,000 or whatever the math is, Because again, I sent all these raws in and I got tens back, so I'm still winning technically. But yeah. Uh, in terms of okay, so that's that. Let me see. Safety purposes. Uh, I don't I don't think anyone has stolen from me yet. I don't even pay attention at the damn time. I should pay attention more. Okay, let me talk about this. So uh, my slabs are always in the display case locked. Now, more recently, I've used a second display case to put like more expensive raw singles because originally I had them in a binder. And I've been watching a lot of videos, and I keep seeing people. That's where most of the thefts are. These people just sliding the singles out of a binder really quick. Being jerk offs. It's just such a scumbag thing to do. I'm sorry if you're young and you're watching this, but close your ears. But such a bunch of jerk offs, man. They deserve a good smack in these people. Um, but so that's what I've been doing lately. Um, Putting the expensive raws in a display case as well. Usually, if it's 20 bucks and under, I'll keep it in a binder. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing for safety purposes. I don't have a camera to like record. But the problem is that since I'm alone again, and they say sometimes I have like 3, 4 people at me, all trying to talk to me at one time or do a deal, a trade. The worst is when like someone gives you like 10 cards that you want to take in a trade, and you gotta like check what they're all worth on TCG, do some math really quick, give them a price of what their market value is and what it is with 80% for trade credit, then see what they want to put it to, and then see if they need to put any extra cash or whatever the case may be. So I'm doing all that. My head is kind of down, you know what I'm saying? Writing stuff or looking on my phone, and like someone flipping through my binder, and then someone else looking at my slabs, or someone else come with like a little kid who's touching everything. I like kids. I have a kid, but damn, some of these kids are annoying, man. They're just touching everything and the dirty hands off everything. And I have OCD. Like I like to keep all my stuff clean and organized, and I mean, look, that's on the parents. Like, parents, please just, I'm being nice as possible. Please just tell your kids, hey, stop. Hey, you're not at home. Don't touch that, or whatever. Because some kids will just ransack your table. It's happened to me a few times. And again, I'm a nice guy. I'm not gonna yell at someone's kid. I'm not a jerk off. But sometimes I give them like a death stare, like I look at a parent and another kid, and like, you gonna say something? Like, come on. No, I don't want to say it. Don't let me do it, please, because then your parents probably gonna be mad at me and yell at me if you're yelling at that kid. But I'm like, excuse me, come on. So yeah, sorry about that. Another thing that annoys me, and if you're a vendor, I'm sure you have to have this happen. If there's okay, no one's doing business at my table. I have my display cases on the table. The table next to me, Pokemon, or whatever the case may be, maybe sports, but usually it's Pokemon. They're doing a deal, maybe like a kid or a group of kids, and then these people decide to put their shit on top of my display case, the glass or whatever it's made out of, and they're covering all my stuff. That annoys me because number one, I know no one's at my table, but that's not the point. The point is at least ask me, be nice. Excuse me, can I place this down here while I finish this deal or whatever with this guy? Most of the time, they're like, hey, no problem. Appreciate them asking me. But some people just will put their water bottles down on my table, and they're not even doing business on my table. They're buying it down, all their shit, and then when that happens, that's when people start coming to look at my stuff, and half my stuff is blocked because this person just put all their stuff on my table. It's very rude. I would never do that to someone. But one thing you will see is that yes, it's Pokemon. Again, yes, it's Pokemon. Yes, it was technically a children's game. But today, no, it's a lot of adults. Most people are nice, but there's a decent amount of jerk offs and a decent amount of people with no manners. And you will see that. If you haven't already, you will see that. So just be prepared. um Man, how long am I going for? 26 minutes. I'm going on a little tirade over here. But overall, I don't want to go too much more, but I probably missed some things. Leave a comment here, any questions, all right? Overall, I'm enjoying it. Take your time, pace yourself, do some research on YouTube. I did make an earlier video, like some materials or stuff you can buy to get started. Don't go crazy. You don't gotta have $10,000 cash. Okay, you can start with 1,000. You can start with just a binder. Go to a show with just a binder, one display case, and you can buy stuff or do trade. Even at your first show, if you don't have much, people will come up to you like, "Hey, you interested in any of this?" And you just slowly build up from there. It's okay. No one's gonna make fun of you. Hey, that's all you have. Whatever. Don't worry about these people. Um, yeah, I enjoy it. I really do. Again, sometimes there's some jerk offs that will annoy me, but that feeling will fade. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta let it go because some people in this world just I don't know something wrong with them, just not tolerable at all. And I guess as I get older, losing patience with these jerk offs. So you know, trying to keep it cool. But anyway, I'll show you what I picked up today. I showed you the Groudon already, but I'm keeping that. And I didn't take that as a trade again. Right? Well, it was a trade, but it was not like 80%. I kind of just did a full market with the other vendor, straight up equal trade for both of us. Then I did buy some stuff from that vendor as well because I'm starting a PC collection, by the way, which I haven't had a PC binder since I was a kid. And yeah, so I'll just show you some stuff I picked up. Got the Charmander. I'm using the front of my iPhone camera, so I keep forgetting the lens is right here. So if I look away at all, that's because I'm looking at the screen, and I should be looking at the front lens. But look at that bad boy. I'm trying to hold on to some 151 since it's going out of print soon. This is a sick card. Went up in price too since I had it in like a CGC 10 like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, something like that. Should have held on to it, but I didn't know. That's a sick card though. I do want to get it in a 10. Articuno, personally, I think it's undervalued. If you can find it, pick it up. Beautiful card. Journeys together. Another card. It's highly suggest picking it up. Beautiful card. Alakazam. Ninetales. I got a lot of Ninetales. Again, I think it's undervalued. City in Flames. Sick card. Last but not least, oh yeah. And again, I wasn't collecting there this time frame, but so I'm trying to get some older cards. But I think this is Celestial Storm. Sick card though. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, just tell me in the comments. Beautiful card. Beautiful card. Pretty clean. I would still say it's near mint. It does have like some whitening though, like top center there. I don't know if you can see it all, but pretty clean card overall. Yeah, beautiful card. So yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Trying to grow the social media. Trying to post more often. Check out the Instagram. The link should be in somewhere in the YouTube page or by the description area. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed the video. Leave any questions or tips, comments, blah blah blah. I'm hoping the sound sounds good. I just started using this like a video ago, so hopefully you can hear me well. Thank you for watching, and until next time.